Welcome to Love and Life Hitched Up. On this episode, we're going to the dump. Today we're going through the process of how we offload or dump our black and gray setup on our new Camco Tab 400. So follow along. I always wear gloves, because you just never know. The 2020 comes with storage in the back. Not all do, but ours does, so we get to keep our sewer supplies all in one nice neat location back here in the back. Oftentimes the rings are threaded at the campground or the dump station. And if you're going to be locked in for a period of time or a few days, I highly recommend that you get a good thread so that nothing disconnects and leaks while you are in this process. Gonna be close. We are gonna need second length of hose, I think. I think we are not gonna reach. We are not. That is why I always carry a second. So I added an additional storage here for a second length of hose, just for this case when one is not going to make it. Now obviously at a dump station, when you pull up to a dump station, you try to line up as close as possible because the shortest amount of hose for dumping out is always best. Less trouble, less issues, less to clean. System is gravity fed, meaning it flows downhill, so no pumps to pump it up. It has to be. Thank you, you're welcome, have a great day. So gravity is your friend. We have a system that we use which actually teardrops, or what do you call it, terraces from high to low, and it works underneath the hose, and it is required in some places if you're going to be for a period of time. But I don't think we're going to need it here. We look like we're pretty good on the downhill slope. So first and foremost, the primary you have to dump is your black tank. Black tank goes first, which is then flushed by the gray tank. So to dump the black tank. Black handle right here on your system. Make sure you're locked in place and just pull and everything starts doing its thing. So the TAP 400 comes equipped with a black tank flush. What this is a system of jets inside that you utilize a fresh water supply or a water supply to spray water out in the inside of the black tank, help flushing all of the debris out. It's important to note I use a separate hose for the black tank flush that never gets attached to the fresh water. It's black and orange, but I always use a separate hose so there's no chance of bacterial contamination getting into your freshwater setup. If you come close, you can hear the water going in, and that will just keep flushing more water out of the black tank, help cleaning the remaining of the bottom of the tank. I was not getting the drainage that I like through the hose itself, so I deployed the terraced hose support. As you can see, what it does is continues to keep the hose supported from high to low, maintaining a good flow, so you don't get sags in the drainage hose, blocking up your waste removal. When you believe you're done draining your black tank, it's always important to walk your hose from the trailer down to the dump location, making sure all the water is out and all the solid debris. And when that's completed, you come back over here to your valves, and it's important to close the black tank valve prior to opening the gray tank. Now the gray tank valve is gray. Open the gray tank valve, and your gray water will begin running through the same hose into the sewer drain. Now most gray tanks are much larger than black tanks, so it does take a little bit longer. This does two things. It helps flush the hose itself out from the septic or the sewer, cleaning the hose as it goes through. We do use a gray tank additive as well as a black tank additive to help with bacteria, things of that nature, oils, grease, all that stuff that may end up in there. But same process. Now I just got to wait till it's done.
Those people are weird. They're filming.
They're filming their poop dump. Now that your gray tank is showing nothing coming out at this point, like I said, walk out that hose, get that amount out. Let's give it a few more seconds. And now you can see why the shortest length of hose to dump is the easiest, because you're only dealing with a short distance from your trailer tank right into the ground. The longer that space is, the more work it becomes to make the dump. So sometimes, even though you have full hookups at your spot, sometimes the dump station could actually be an easier place to dump. And when you're done, it's important to make sure you close off your gray valve. Push back in the stem, the T-handle, push it all the way back in until it seats. And then remove. Now what I always do is utilizing my black hose. This is why you make sure you never fill your water at a dump station, because people will use the hoses there and do this. They stick them inside their black tank hose, their septic hose, to rinse out. So now if that's the same water hose that you want to hook up to your drinking water, so that's why it'll say potable and non-potable water. So be very careful, and that's why I never use the same hose. Some people do. I don't understand that. It's just not sanitary. And the last thing I do is I rinse off my connector. I rinse off my connector, my connection into the And if you're working at a dump station, they also ask that you rinse down around, so those coming behind you don't have to encounter any of your problems. And if you have a spill, you need to notify the parks folks right away so they take care of getting that cleaned up without contaminating other things.
Okay.
So your indicator lights here, you'd have to push the black tank light. See how many light up? How many we get in there?
2.
Yeah. Common.
Gray is 1.
Yeah. Oftentimes you have a sensor that may be obscured in the black tank, not giving you a true reading. As you can see, there was nothing left coming out of that tank when I closed it up. But, you know, it could be the slightest piece of toilet paper or whatever blocking that area. So one of the ups to having a flush is to help clean that out and resolve that problem. In other cases, that's how it goes. And that's going to the dump. Very important before you drive off to make sure that your valves are closed, both black and gray, and that your cap is on and not dangling down the road, leaking anything as you go. Secure. Black tank flush, closed again. And that, my friends, is going to the dump. So if you like this video, go ahead and subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and make sure you smash that bell icon down below. Leave a comment in the bottom, let us know how we're doing, anything you'd like to see or anything you'd like more information of. And remember, when you're out there loving life, do it hitched up.